What's up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia and welcome to our week 4 of the new fall and winter scents. Now I'm kind of cheating because we have one new release scent to go this week, and I decided to throw the 2 returning brick scents in because they are new to the catalog. So instead of voting last week, I got you to fill in the blanks on your 2 stars and a wish. And the interesting thing is that kind of translates into the warmings for this week. I appreciate your feedback, and I did really enjoy reading all the comments. And if you haven't read those comments from last week, I suggest you go back and read them. So don't forget, at the end of this video, we will resume voting. I have the big box right here. So let's get started. So let's talk about our first scent for the week. It is Black Currant Plum. Sadly, this got the fewest number of votes for all the new releases, so it came in the final spot. This is a really pretty, almost like a plum colored wax, light to medium on intensity when you just smell it right out of the package, and it's a new release in the fruity section. Scentsy says, dark plum and wild black currant embolden sweet apple for a temptation you won't want to resist. So to me, this is a fall and winter, a fruity body care kind of scent. There's definitely a body care component, and when I smelled it on cold sniff, it reminded me of a plum version of Snow-Kissed Cranberry because that has a body care component to it, but it's a beautiful, soft, fruity scent with the edges just a little bit rounded. It's not sharp and pungent. That's what I get here. So let's break down the notes. Dark plum, I have written down scent, yes, but not strong. Wild black currant, yes, but not strong. And I said it's not like black currant bubbly because that's pretty intense and assertive. I have sweet apple. The apple is kind of like a gently cooked apple where the apple fragrance is a little bit more concentrated. So it's not a fresh apple. It's not applesauce. It's kind of like a gently cooked apple, which adds a nice gentle sweetness. And I think for the base, there's probably a body care note. I have a note written down. It reminds me a lot of Snow-Kissed Cranberry body care. It reminds me of a fall winter version of the Glamorous You collection. If there was a Glamorous You fall winter style, this could go in it no problem. Maybe something like a sugared woods, a sugared musk, or a sheer musk, or sheer sugared musk. You get where I'm going. It also reminded me a little bit of Black Raspberry Vanilla, kind of a switch up because it's more body care. And one of my customers asked if it was similar to Dancing Sugar Plums. And I would say, without the spice, perhaps they were a little bit closer to one another. So think of it like that. So what I decided to do was, I asked my daughter which of the 2 scents that she would like to warm in her room. I knew she wouldn't want Vanilla Cinnamon Maple, but I thought between Fluffy Fleece and this one, what would she pick? And she picked this one. So I put the standard 2 cubes in her Moon Over Jupiter warmer, which is a 25 watt glass warmer, but it's a good glass warmer. Strength and throw at around the 2 to 3 hour mark was only about 3 out of 10. So I decided to leave it a couple more hours. It just didn't really gain momentum, so I decided to add an extra cube, which is technically cheating, so I was up to 3 cubes in her warmer. The strength and throw boosted up a bit to about 6 or 7 out of 10, so that was nice. It did respond to the extra cube. It didn't really maintain that, it kind of just tapered off. And I did leave it going 24 hours at a convenience, but I would definitely say it did not last the full 24 hours for me. So the other thing I noticed in the room, when I got closer, I could smell it to the warmer, but it just wasn't throwing in the room. So moving on, I decided to warm 2 cubes in my bedroom at the same time. Now I did take a break from my bedroom, and I'll tell you why you're here in a second. Strength and throw was about 5 or 6 out of 10 here in my bedroom, and the first day I left it going 9 hours. I decided to take a break, and I decided to warm 2 cubes in my kids' bathroom. They have a mini warmer on each side of their sink. They're ceramic, so it's a pretty good little boost of warmer activity for a small area. So again, strength and throw there was about 5 or 6 out of 10. The first day I left it going a very, very long day, 18 hours. Now by the end of that 18 hours, it was about 2 out of 10. I tried it again the next day. I didn't really get enough juice out of it, so I called it at 18 hours. So then I went back to my bedroom. So I'd only warmed it 1 9-hour spurt in my bedroom. I really like this scent. I really, really do, but it was a little bit on the disappointing side for me. So I kind of didn't want to warm it again because I thought, well, I'm hoping it's going to perform, but if it doesn't. Anyway, so I warmed it for about 5 extra hours here in my bedroom. The first 2 or 3 hours, I could kind of smell it. It wasn't very strong, but I could smell the currant and the plum, and then I just couldn't smell it. So I'm going to say in my bedroom, it probably lasted about 12 hours for 2 cubes. that's not really the performance I'd like. Now, in saying that, it is warm, it's humid here in Nova Scotia, not as hot and humid as other areas of North America, but some of these kind of body care, fruity, gentle, shimmery kind of scents, they do struggle with that kind of condition. They will probably do better in the fall or winter, so I definitely look forward to trying this again in the cooler months of fall and winter. I think this is really good for bedrooms or bathrooms. I wouldn't warm it in any big area. I don't think you're going to smell it. It might benefit from extra care time as well. I do not know. But will I be repurchasing this? I'm going to try this. If it performs similarly to what I had experienced just now, I will probably not repurchase, but I'm going to probably repurchase it in the room spray, because sometimes if a scent doesn't seem to work for you in wax, you can purchase it in other forms and enjoy it that way. So I wish this performed a little bit better for me. It was a little bit disappointing, but I'm not giving up hope yet. All right, let's talk about scent number 2 for the week. It is Fluffy Fleece. Now I have this in a giant brick, but in the catalog you will be purchasing it in bar form. This is a pretty baby blue colored wax, medium intensity, and it was a former brick scent for the holidays of 2021, and Scentsy has brought it back, so it's a new to the catalog scent, and they have put it in the fresh category. You could probably argue floral fresh. So the scent notes on this are black currant and cozy musk bundle up beneath a blanket of heliotrope. So before I say too much, I will say that I did do a brick review video, so I will insert that here, hopefully, and you can check that out. But I'll try to highlight generally what I thought of it this go around, because sometimes warming it a second time or a second, spurt, you can kind of get more out of it. So I would say heliotrope is definitely one of the notes, and yes. So heliotrope, I looked it up, it gives the effect of a sweet, powdery, fluffy little cloud-like perfume. So yes, floral and sweet, check. Cozy musk, definitely check. This is definitely musky, and it gives a cozy feeling. There's probably some other notes in here that they don't share with us. Black currant is the only one I'm like, because there's a lot of people that don't like currant scents and they like this. And if I didn't read that there was black currant in here, I don't think I would say I could pick it up. In fact, I don't think I can pick it up. It probably is just a background sweetness or complexity. So it's definitely cozy, this one. It describes in the scent description a blanket. And yes, it does feel like a nice cozy fleece blanket. So I think the packaging is terrific on this one as well. They have probably brought this in as a winter replacement to Jammy Time. So we will probably see this retire in spring and summer, and let's see if Jammy Time returns. Now, in the past, when I've melted this, I didn't really like it as much as I was hoping. My husband really, really likes this. He says it reminds him of walking through the perfume section of the Bay, where all the different scents are coming at you. To me, on day one, this reads a little bit of an elderly kind of scent, an elderly perfume or a mature perfume. But on day 2 and 3, I really like it. So let's talk about performance, because if it's lasting into day 2 and 3, then that's usually a good sign. So the first place I put it was my laundry room, and I put a little bit more than a cube's worth because I had to cut the brick. And the strength and throw was about 5 out of 10 in the mini warmer there. And I left it going, I started it around supper on Friday, and I removed it around supper on Sunday. So almost a full 48 hours, but I did not leave it going overnight. So about 40 hours. That's okay. Then I decided to put about half a brick cube in each of 2 warmers. So I would have used a whole brick cube in Drew's room, but I split it in between 2 warmers. So that is roughly maybe 3.5-ish cubes, give or take, almost 4. Strength of throw in his room was about 6 to 7 out of 10. I have a note at around 8 o'clock. It was about 5 or 6, but at that peak, it was 6 to 7. So it had just dipped just a little bit. So on day 3, I did remove it. So I left a note almost 3.5 days, about 60 hours. The third spot I warmed it was my TV room, or the bonus room above the garage. So again, full brick cube and divided in 2, put half in each of 2 warmers. I left it going 2 days, 48 hours. The strength of throw at max was about 6 out of 10. So definitely not a boomer. Now, in bedrooms before, when I warmed this, it was a boomer in Ryan's room, and it was medium in other spots. And in my open layout, it was light. I had to add extra wax in my open layout, and then it was about a medium, and it kind of just hummed along. So I would say this is a long-lasting scent at about a light to medium intensity, depending on where you warm it. If you like powdery, laundry, cozy, musky scents, I think you're gonna like this. It's also sweet, so keep that in mind. For some reason, it's probably the picture of the scarf, but this really reads winter to me. I did enjoy it, but it just seems very cozy for a wintry kind of cozy feel. And I am looking forward to picking this up in laundry. So will I be repurchasing more of this? If I didn't have any more bricks, I probably would, because my husband has complimented this in the past. He really enjoyed it. And I enjoy it after day one. I just find the intense, mature perfume tone at the beginning is not for me. But one thing I want to say is this one is a star in performance because it is long lasting, and depending on where you warm it, you can tailor its intensity. So that is a good one. It's growing on me. It's Fluffy Fleece. All right, so let's talk about our final scent for this series. It is a vanilla cinnamon maple. Again, I have a brick. Again, I will link the holiday brick review before. This is a dark, rusty brown colored wax, medium intensity on cold sniff, and it's a returning brick. It's new to the catalog though, so let's discuss it. So the scent description is cinnamon stick, warms buttery maple, atop a mountain of whipped cream. All right, I'm just gonna put a little picture. This scent reminds me of a fall and winter bakery spiced bread or loaf. Kind of like one of those dark spiced breads, but you definitely get a cinnamon presence, but you also get gentle medley of other spices. I think where maple comes into this is that the maple is, to me, more like maple sugar built into the loaf. Because maple syrup is very sweet and cloying, kind of like autumn glazed maple, French toast, what's the other one? Maple apple bourbon. Those are kind of more, well, maple apple bourbon is a little bit deeper, but the other two are more liquidy maple scents to me. Now, what I imagine the loaf to have is just a drizzle of dark, slightly smoky caramel. And then the whipped cream is at the top. And when you're eating that loaf, you're using a fork and you're eating the loaf and the caramel first, and you're saving the whipped cream to the end, because at the end, you get more vanilla. But this reads kind of a heavy, deep bakery. I always say a GBD, golden, brown, and delicious. Yes, this is a heavier style bakery. So we have light bakeries and we have heavy bakeries. So this would be good on its own. Think of it that way, but you can also use this as a mixer. So this would be an opposite style mixer to vanilla bean buttercream or sugar cookie, in that it's a little bit of a deeper, richer, heavier bakery. That's the best way I can describe it. So I have warmed this before and I remember it did okay, but I thought let's try it again so I can refamiliarize myself with it. So I warmed it in my TV room above the garage. Strength and throw there was at peak, 8 out of 10. I left it going 1.5 days, about 40 hours. I have a note on day 1, it was fairly strong. And on day 2, it was a nice background vanilla hum with a little bit of spiciness. All right. Open concept area, I decided to warm this. Now, I don't remember if I warmed it in my open layout before. I think I may have. Strength and throw was about 7.5 out of 10 at its maximum there. I left it going for 16 hours, a long day. I had to go to the office. I was on vacation, but I had to go into the office to take care of something. So that was timed so that I got home just before supper. So I put this in at 7 in the morning, and just before supper, I came in the door and I was like, oh, yummy. I could smell this. So to say that I like this better than I did the first time around is an understatement. I really enjoyed this time. So yeah, to me, it was another star. So I think if you're someone that likes mixer scents that are GBD, say oats and honey, instead take your honey and replace it with a maple caramel. Maybe even French toast, you might want to try picking this up. I think this is good for medium areas. If you put it in a big area, it's going to wear off a little faster. It's going to diffuse and dilute, but you will get a gentle background bakery hum towards the end of the day. I think this is definite fall and winter more than spring, summer, because it is a little bit heavier. And I have a note here that I like this so much this time around, and I would definitely repurchase this if I didn't have extra bricks. So this was good. I really liked this one. It was a star. So that is vanilla cinnamon maple. Okay, so let's move to the portion of the video where I'm gonna draw some scents and you guys are gonna vote. So if you're new to my channel, you're gonna vote for 2 different scents down in the YouTube comment section by early Wednesday morning. If you cannot vote on YouTube, you can find my Instagram post. It's Patricia Gates, and put your 2 votes there. So I have a couple scents over here that I'm gonna just cheat and grab. So we're gonna do some new, some old, and a little bit of everything. So for newish kind of things, scent number 1 is going to be Wally. This is an LTO, which stands for limited time offer. And scent number 2 is going to be the scent of the month for August, Glacier Water. So let's do scent number 3. Now I thought what we'd do is I would grab a couple of older Bring Back My Bars I'm trying to use up. So I just put any old Bring Back My Bar packaging that we haven't discussed, and I put them in here. So scent number 3 is going to be Redwood and Cedar. Scent number 4 is going to be Cranberry Spice. Scent number 5 is going to be Apple and Cinnamon Sticks. Lots of testers in there. And scent number 6, I'm just going to go in this older bag. Let's do an older one. Scent number 6, go to the bottom, pull out 1 scent. Scent number 6 is Orange Clove Pomander. And I do have a bar of this, so I'm looking forward to hopefully using that up. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I love that you guys vote every week. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.